Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Kind, and this is Lynette Cole, former Miss USA.
Welcome to Wise Guys on Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em is one of the fastest, most exciting games of poker in the world, and quite possibly the most popular.
You don't even have to be from Texas to play.
That's right. And tonight, while I find my way to the table, Lynette will be heading out on the road. With the help of our expert and some very special Wise Guy friends, Lynette and I will show you the basics of the card game that has captured the imagination of gamblers everywhere.
And when we're all done, we'll all be able to play against anyone.
So what is it about this game that's caught on so fast and furiously? Anyone, from amateur to professional, can sit at a table on a national level, and if they have the skills we're about to teach you, win big. With poker, just buy your chips, grab a seat, and take your shot. Our instructor today is an undisputed heavyweight in poker, Robert Varconi, the 2002 World Poker Champion who won $2 million. Robert, it's great to have you here.
Hi, Eric. It's great to be here.
Now, Robert, when you won the World Championship, you weren't a professional poker player?
No, I wasn't. I guess you would call me something of a social player, but when I play to win and I play for keeps.
Whether you considered yourself a social or amateur player, you had what it took to win, and that's what you're here to share with us tonight.
That's right, but before I can show you how to win, you have to know how to play. You have to walk before you can run.
Okay, so let's go over some of the basics.
Good. In poker, the object is to occasionally win a hand, not place or show, and in order to win a hand, you have to get the best hand of cards. In other words, your best 5 cards against your opponent's best 5 cards. If no one has cards related to each other, the high card wins. That's the highest card that you're holding in your hand.
And the next highest hand is a pair. Lynette?
A pair is 2 cards of 1 rank, also known as 2 of a kind. For example, you could have 2 queens, also known as a pair of ladies. Pairs beat each other according to rank, with a pair of 2s as the lowest on the totem pole of pairs, and a pair of aces as the highest.
Here's a poker lingo alert. Sometimes we call a pair of aces a couple of bullets.
Now we're going to have those lingo alerts pop up periodically throughout our game, so keep an eye out for them.
And maybe later we'll take a lingo break and list as many as we can.
Sounds good. So Lynette, can you tell us what beats a pair?
2 pairs beat 1 pair. When 2 players both have 2 pair, then they each compare their higher pair first. As an example, a pair of kings combined with a pair of 5s will beat a hand comprised of a pair of queens and a pair of jacks, because kings are higher than queens. The kicker or extra card that isn't used to make your pairs is sometimes used as a tiebreaker. An example would be ace-ace 4-4 king versus ace-ace 4-4-8. In this case, the hand with a king kicker beats the hand with the 8 kicker.
The next highest hand is 3 of a kind, which is 3 cards of the same rank. So 3 of a kind beats 2 pair. The lowest ranking of 3 of a kind is 3 2s. The highest, 3 aces.
Next up in the ranking is a straight, which is 5 cards in sequence. For example, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a straight. A higher ranking straight, though, would be 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. The aces play either high or low, so you can have 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace as the highest straight, or Ace 2, 3, 4, 5 as the lowest straight.
A straight of any kind always beats 3 of a kind.
By the way, the highest straight, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, is also called Broadway.
And Lynette, why don't you tell us what beats a straight?
The next strongest hand is known as the flush.
A flush is 5 cards all in the same suit. An example would be this hand, 5, 7, 9, Jack, Ace, all in hearts. Or it could be spades, clubs, or diamonds, as long as it's 5 cards in the same suit. It's a flush. Flushes are ranked by the top card and then by the next highest card and so on. For example, Ace-Jack 9-4-2 beats Ace-Jack 8-4-2.
So a flush always beats a straight. What's better than a flush?
A full house is 3 cards of 1 rank accompanied by 2 of another, such as 3 7s and 2 jacks. Full houses are ranked by the 3 of a kind, so that 3 queens and 2 10s beats 3 10s and 2 queens. Full house is a very big hand with which you'll usually win the pot.
A full house always beats a flush. What beats a full house?
4 of a kind is just what it sounds like. 4 cards of the same rank, and the 5th card doesn't really matter. But 4 jacks beats 4 4s. 4 of a kind is a huge hand which almost never loses.
What beats 4 of a kind? A straight flush.
A straight flush is 5 cards of the same suit in sequence, so it's both a straight and a flush at the same time.
An example would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of hearts, or 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, all in spades. Which brings us to the very best hand in poker.
Royal flush.
The 10 Jack, Queen, King, Ace in the same suit. Nobody can mess with the highest possible straight flush and the best possible hand, also known as the royal flush.
Now, why are the hands ranked in this order?
That's a good question, Eric. The cards are ranked this way because the harder it is to make a hand, the more value it's given in the rankings.
Now, during the rest of our game, if you forget what beats what or what's ranked by what, you can check out our handy rank chart right here. Now that we've covered all the possible poker hands, let's get started on the great game of Texas Hold'em. We've assembled a great crew of wise guys to help us guide you through the basics of Texas Hold'em. Please, let's bring out our good fellas.
Vincent Pastore. Vincent. Vinny Vela Sr. Willie Garson. Fisher Stevens.
Tonight, we'll be playing 2-4 Texas Hold'em. This means that the bet and raises on the pre-flop and flop will be $2, and on the turn and river, the bet will be $4. There are a few different games being played in the poker rooms across the country, and in subsequent videos, we'll cover all those games.
Texas Hold'em is a community card game, meaning that some of the cards are dealt face up in the middle of the table and shared by all the players. In Texas Hold'em, each player is dealt 2 down cards that are theirs alone, also known as hole cards.
Now, everyone has 2 cards at this point, and this is where the betting starts. There's a rotating button which represents the theoretical dealer. In fact, the button is actually a disc with the word dealer on it. After each hand, it rotates clockwise around the table. This is important because of a forced bet that is required by the next 2 players to the left of the dealer. This bet is called a blind. The player immediately next to the dealer on the left must make a blind bet of 1/2 the bet. This is called a small blind. He already had to bet $1 before the cards were dealt.
This is why the button rotates after every hand, so that each player will be required to play these blind bets as the button moves its way around the table.
The player 2 away on the left of the dealer must make a blind bet equal to the amount of the table's minimum. This is called the big blind. He already had to bet $2 before the cards were dealt. The next player up has 3 options. 1, he can fold, which means discarding his hand, face down and sitting out the rest of the round, and it will cost him nothing.
Fold.
2, he can call the bet, which costs him $2. Calling, simply put, is betting only the amount that is needed to stay in the hand. 3, he can call and raise the bet.
I raise.
Put in $2 and raise another $2.
So if a player doesn't like his hand, he can take his money back?
Unfortunately, no. You can't take money out, not unless you win. So we go around the circle clockwise with each player free to fold, call the bet, or raise the bet. The blind bets are live, meaning that they also have an option to raise when it's their turn to act.
So after everyone is done betting, raising, and calling, that brings us to the next phase of the game.
The flop. 3 cards are dealt face up in the center of the table. This is known as the flop.
They add these cards to the cards that I'm holding, and that's my hand, right?
That's right. They become part of your hand, so in a sense, you can also see part of everyone else's hand. After the flop, there are no more forced blind bets. The first person left of the button who's still holding a hand is the first one to act, and he can check or bet.
Check.
A check is essentially passing on your option to make an opening bet for this round of betting. You only have the option to check if everyone before you also says check. If someone makes a bet, then all the players that are still in the hand face a decision on whether to call the bet, which means match the money, raise the bet by $2 more, or fold, which means throw their cards away. At the end of the wagering, for each round, everyone who's holding onto their cards will have put in the same amount of money to match any bet and all raises.
Then it's time to deal the next card.
The turn.
The 4th community card is called the turn. Before the flop and after the flop, the betting was $2, but now for the turn and the river, the betting will double to $4 for an initial bet, and then he raises.
$4. Call 4.
Again, same situation. Betting starts with the player left of the dealer. He can check or bet $4. If someone makes a bet, then all the players that are still in the hand face a decision to call the $4 bet, raise another $4, or fold. The fifth and final community card is called the river.
So tell me why they call it the river.
Because if you find yourself down the river without a paddle, or in this case, without a good hand, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think I've heard that said a different way.
Now all the cards have been dealt, and we would start the final round of betting, again in $4 increments. Now here's an important point. Adding your 2 cards to the 5 community cards, also known as the board, adds up to 7 cards total that you can use. However, you can choose the best 5 card combination to be your hand.
So they get 7 cards, but we can only play 5 at a time.
That's right. It's kind of like basketball. You can only have 5 players on the court at once. So in this case, you get to have 2 cards sit on the bench.
Do they have to use the 2 cards that they're holding?
You don't. You can use only one, both of them, or you can use neither of them, playing the 5 community cards as your hand. If you only use the 5 community cards as your hand, that's called playing the board.
Well, now that all the betting is complete and there are no more cards to deal, all remaining players will turn over their cards.
The showdown.
It's over.
It's over?
It's going over
I got it
here.
straight.
It's got it straight.
The flush beats a straight?
Congratulations, you finally won a hand.
Jesus.
Very important thing to remember here. Turn your cards over and let the dealer look at your cards and give you recognition for the best possible hand using your cards with the board. You do this in case you miss a winning hand. This is called letting the cards talk. The dealer may see a hand of yours that you miss.
Man, you got a flush.
If you see a hand that the dealer misses, by all means, let the dealer know before the cards are taken away.
Let's take a short break to review some terms and have some fun with a little slang. Then we will go through some basic steps and strategy that anyone can use.
Here's some poker lingo for you to remember. Pre-flop, the whole cards, cards in the pocket, cards that are face down. The flop, the first 3 community cards. The turn, the 4th community card dealt. The river, the 5th community card dealt. The board, all the community cards. The pot, all the wagered money in the center of the table. The showdown, turning the whole cards face up to determine the winner after all the cards are dealt and the betting is complete. Bet, the money wagered on your hand. Raise, the additional amount of money wagered by a player after a bet has been wagered. Check, passing on your option to bet if nobody else has bet. Fold, discarding a hand to avoid wagering any more money on it. Flush draw, a 4-card hand that needs 1 more card for a flush. Open-ended straight draw, a 4-card hand that needs either a high or low card for a straight. Inside straight draw, a 4-card hand that needs 1 card in the middle for a straight. Here is some additional lingo that many poker players use. Slang for cards in the hole. Ace, ace, American Airlines, or bullets, or pocket rockets. King, king, cowboys. Queen, queen, ladies or cowgirls. Ace, king, big slick. 2-2, deuces. 3-3, trays. 5-5, speed limit. Queen 10, Barconi. Slang from the Wild West. Under the gun, the first player forced to act. Inside straight draw, gut shot or belly buster. Ace, ace, 8-8, dead man's hand. Small cards that don't help your hand, blanks or rags. Some more slang. Full house, a boat. Highest straight, 10, jack, queen, king, ace, Broadway. Lowest straight, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, the wheel.
Throwing around or at least understanding and not being intimidated by the table slang won't win hands, but you won't get scared out of the table either.
The first rule is that you should only stay in the game when you have a chance to win. If you don't, then you should fold. Remember, you're allowed to fold. You're expected to fold. You should fold if you don't have a good hand.
All right, so we should dedicate a moment right now to encourage lots of folding of hands, right?
If you're playing with 10 people, on average, you'll win about 1 out of 10 hands. You'll certainly play more than 1 out of 10 hands, and even though you may start out in 3 or 4 out of 10, you shouldn't find yourself going too far in probably more than 2 or 3 out of those 10 hands, unless you're riding a major winning streak.
The biggest beginner mistake is playing too many hands.
If you don't like your hand at the beginning, you can fold.
Fold.
If you don't like your hand on the flop and someone makes a bet, you can fold.
Fold.
If you don't like your hand on the turn and someone makes a bet, you can fold.
I fold.
If you don't like your hand on the river and someone makes a bet, you can fold. Get the idea?
Wait, I think we've made our point here. All right, you
Get
spend
the
more
idea?
time folding than you do playing.
Right.
But if you don't see all of your cards right away, how would you know if you have a good hand?
At each stage of the game, I'm going to show you how to decide whether you have a good hand or not. Before the flop, on the turn, and on the river. Sometimes you have a made hand that may already be a winner, and sometimes you have a drawing hand that may develop into a winner with the help of more community cards to come.
Okay, so first off, you have to have good hole cards. If you're sitting with a deuce and a 7, you probably should fold, right? So what's a great hand to start out with?
A great hand is a big pair, and the best possible starting hand is a pair of aces.
Here are the top 10 starting hands in Hold'em. Number 1, ace, ace. Number 2, king, king. Number 3, queen, queen. Number 4, jack, jack. Number 5, ace, king suited. Suited means the 2 cards have the same suit. Number 6, 10, 10. Number 7, ace, queen suited. Number 8, ace, jack suited. Number 9, king, queen suited. Number 10, ace, king mixed. And since we use ace, king twice, let's throw an 11th hand into the mix. Number 11, 99.
Pairs are already a good hand, but why play unpaired face cards? If we divide all the cards in the deck into 3 groups, highest, medium, and smallest, you'll see the face cards all fall into the top group. You're hoping for at least one of your 2 high cards to match with one of the community cards to give you a high pair. In Hold'em, many times the high pair wins the pot.
So ideally, it's really best to have strong cards in the pocket to go forward. What about after the flop?
This brings us to the next most important skill you have to learn.
Reading the board.
Being able to read the board is crucial.
Okay, so it's crucial. Now, what does reading the board mean?
Basically, it's asking yourself, does the board fit your hand? You should always understand how well the board fits your hand and how well it may fit the types of hands your opponents are playing.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
Let's play these cards face up to show what everybody is looking for.
I'm holding a set. Your pair in the hole matched one of the cards on the board to give you 3 of a kind. That's how the board fits your hand.
I'm holding 2 pair. Your 2 unpaired hold cards each match cards on the board. In fact, I have the top 2 pair.
I'm holding an overpair in the hole, which is a pair that is higher than any of the cards of the board.
I'm holding the top pair, which means that one of the hole cards paired up with the top card on the board.
I'm holding a flush draw, which means that you have 4 cards of the same suit. You need another card of that suit on the turn or the river to give you a flush. This would be a nut flush draw, which would be the best possible one. You're holding the highest possible card of that suit, not already on the board. I also have a top pair with top kicker and a nut straight draw.
The royal flush would be the nuts for this hand. The best possible hand at any point in the game is called the nuts. It's important to recognize the possible hands your opponents may be playing, including the nuts. However, in Hold'em, often the winning hand is not the nuts hand. For example, if there's a flop of 2, 4, 6 of 3 different suits, then somebody holding 3-5 has flopped the nuts. But 3-5 is one of the worst possible starting hands that will be playing unless they are the big blind forced bet and no one has raised. So in this case, the likely leading hand will be an overpair higher than a 6, or a lucky soul that hit a set with his pair of 2s, 4s, or 6s in the hole. Remember, the nuts can and sometimes will change on the turn and river cards.
At this point, we know what playable starting hands are. We also understand how to combine our cards with the shared community cards, called the board. Now, Robert, how do you decide when to call, when to raise, when to hold them, and when to fold them?
It depends. It depends on a lot of things. In fact, it depends on so many factors that volumes of books have been written on the subject. For now, we'll give you some easy guidelines to play with, and later in the advanced video, we'll give you a few more.
So we've already started to cover this for the first 2 cards of the pre-flop betting. Now, if you don't have one of those playable hands, a pair or 2 face cards, you definitely fold, which is most of the time. But when do we fold on the other rounds of betting?
Before we get to the other rounds of betting, let's go back to the pre-flop for a moment. Another time you can fold before the flop is if someone raised and you don't have one of the stronger playable hands. As for the other rounds, the flop, turn, and the river, it's real simple. If other people are betting and you think they're very likely to have a better hand than you, then fold your cards. Discard them, throw them in the muck, or whatever you want to call it. You're done playing this hand.
Okay, so when do you check?
There's no option to check before the flop because of the forced big blind bet. However, on all of the other rounds, if no one has bet by the time it's your turn, then you have an option to check. Meaning, you hold on to your hand without putting any money in the pot. We'll make it easy. If you have a bad hand or a hand that's okay but you're unsure how good it is against the other players, then just say check.
Okay, so when do you call?
Let's review. Before the flop, you can call with the playable hands, any pair or any 2 face cards. If someone raised before the flop, then you can call with the top 5 or 10 hands. Later in the hand, on the flop, turn, and river, to just call a bet, you should have a hand that can potentially win. The general rule of thumb is that you need a stronger hand to call a raise than to initiate one.
So when do you bet?
If I think I may have the winning hand, I'm going to make the opening bet and see who wants to stay in and play with me. It's kind of like a fight when you get the first punch in.
So when do we raise?
When you're pretty sure you have the winner. Pre-flop, you can raise with the top 5 or 10 hands. On the flop, turn, and river, if you feel your hand matches well with the board and see what you like and like what you see, say raise and throw your money in.
So when do we re-raise?
Simply put, you re-raise when you feel great about your hand. You're pretty sure you have an even better hand than the raiser and any callers. In other words, you should be holding a monster hand. Pre-flop should be the top 2 or 3 hands. Later in the hand, on the flop, turn, and river, you should have a good idea whether you're holding one of the best possible hands with the board that's up. This is an ideal time to be holding the best possible hand that can be made with the board, also known as the stone cold nuts.
All right, now that we understand better how to bet, let's play some more hands and scoop some pots. A hand in which players have a tie, except for the kicker, which determines the winner.
Call.
Jim Bondi folds. And it looks like, yes he is, Frank Vincent's going to raise it up. He's got an ace-queen, which is a very strong hand coming out here. Fisher's looking oh, and Fisher goes out 2. And over to Cha-Cha.
2, he raised it 2.
Cha-Cha asking questions. Yeah, he's got Jack, Diamonds, 10 of hearts.
I'm out.
But he throws it away, I guess, over the raise of Frank Vincent, which is a good idea. Looking at his cards, ace-queen. And Willie goes out. There's not many players in this hand right now.
Stop betting, that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You gotta get out then, right?
Vinny Vella and Charlie go out.
That's right.
And Vinny Pastore is going to go in and call the raise. And he's got ace-king, so right now he is in the lead over Frank Vincent.
This is a showdown.
I love John Murphy Brown. You were fantastic.
That's not me, that's the other painter.
And they all want to take credit for that one.
That's the other painter. That's the other painter. Yeah, all right, I'm good.
So the flop comes down. And that's ace of diamonds, 6 of spades, and a 7 of hearts. So Frank Vincent has a pair of aces with a queen kicker, but Vinny Pastore has a pair of aces with the king kicker. The king is higher than the queen, so that would be the winning hand.
I'm sorry.
The other guy's a
Robert Pastore.
Right, you know him.
Trying to get their names all straight.
He's looking for work too. Yeah, I was in that too, right. That's Robin Williams.
Okay, and so the turn card comes out, and that's a jack of spades. And Vincent Pastore's still in the lead. Right now, the only thing that can happen for Frank Vincent is if he gets a queen on the river. And that would give him two pair, a pair of aces and a pair of queens. That looks like it's going to do it. That's going to make Vincent Pastore the winner on this hand. He just has to make sure he doesn't fold out.
You know, I like the white chips, so if I throw you one...
Now he's going to go in. He's going to go with the bet.
Beautiful.
And Frank Vincent's going to think about it. It's very hard to fold that out. Oh, he calls it off.
So now what do we do?
Show your cards.
Show your cards.
I got them no more.
You got no more cards? And bada bang. You show me, I'll show you yours.
So Vinny Pastore shows his cards. He's got a pair of aces, a pair of jacks with the king kicker, and Frank Vincent has his pair of aces with his pair of jacks, but only the queen kicker. So the king is higher than the queen, and that's going to give the pot to Vincent Pastore. Congratulations to him.
That's not awesome.
Get the kicker.
That's right.
K stands for the kicker.
King plays.
Aces
That's how you win. All right?
Aces up, king
Gabish? All right, baby.
A hand that's down to two players pre-flop, where the lead keeps switching back and forth between players on every round of betting.
The bet is $2.
I'll make it 4.
So Frank Vincent raises it up to 4 already. Jim Tui's out.
F-O-R-K.
He's got the fork. He said fork it.
Houdini's over there.
So
I'm out.
Watch how he...
Cha-Cha goes out. And Willie Garson shows us how easy it is just to call.
That was, but you have practice.
I got garbage. I need Rit to come and sit next to me. Bring me some
Cabbage over here again. I'm out.
Give him some red.
Charlie's out as well.
Wait a second. I think I go next to the side.
Vinny Pastore thinks he goes next, so he's...
Like I said before, I'm in the same limo with Charlie.
And Jim Bunny goes out as well. So it looks like it's going to be Frank Vincent, who's holding an ace-queen suited. How many times can this guy get ace-queen?
Me and haircut.
He has ace-queen all the time, and he never has hair in a shower.
You never have hair in your shower?
I got
Well, you
plenty.
must shower.
Looking like a very good hand for both of them, actually.
It's what a shower train's supposed to look.
So this is giving jacks to Willie Garson, but Frank Vincent has the nut flush draw right now. That's giving him an ace of spades, queen of spades, jack of spades, and 6 of spades. He needs one more, and he's going to make his nut flush. And there comes the queen of diamonds comes down. So not only does that give Frank Vincent the lead now, but now that gives Willie Garson also a flush draw. So the river card's coming out, and it's an ace of diamonds. Unbelievable. So that is going to put Frank Vincent to bed, and Willie Garson's going to take this as long as he still stays in. And the lead has just changed back and forth between these two guys this evening.
Put some more money out there.
Put some Whisper in there. Oh, you got no reason.
So Frank Vincent just calls the bet. And Willie Garson throws down and shows his nut flush.
That's called
Got the
flush.
flush. Oh, the royal.
And aces and queens is just not going to take it on this hand.
Nice try.
That is very, very true. You win some, you lose some, especially in poker.
That's true.
But you know what?
You're Jim.
A hand that's down to 3 players pre-flop, where the lead switches around between the 3 players.
Who's the bet? Who's the bet? Straighten up my chin.
And Vinny Pastore goes in, and Jim Bonney goes in. Frank Vincent goes out. Jim Tui's
Shut 'em all
out.
down. I'm going to knock Stevens right down. Come on.
Let's go. You and me,
Oh,
baby. You and me.
well, some fighting words between Vinny Pastore and Fisher Stevens.
I saw you in Undisputed. I know how you work.
Fisher has an ace-jack suited, looks like.
I love when Cha-Cha does that.
Little
Good.
little
You're out
zing
of the
going
game,
across the room.
2 more.
Charlie looks at his cards and does not like what he sees.
He's out of the game too?
Yeah, he lost all his money the last
What will we think?
Vinny Pastore has a pair of jacks. He has jack of clubs, jack of hearts. A fantastic hand to start out with. 3 players, and here comes the flop. And that's a 10 of hearts, 5 of spades, 8 of spades.
Oh, yeah.
which gives Jim Bonnie a fantastic hand because he's holding a pair of 8s in the hole.
Why, should I bet more than that? I'll bet more than that.
Oh, he's fallen into a big trap here.
So what?
Jim
That's what
Bonnie's
I'm
trying to make
saying.
him bet,
Other bets
and
too.
I'll help you then.
yeah, there he goes. So Vinny Pastore bets, and Jim
Oh,
Bonnie's going to help
you
him out by
don't
the
wanna
raise.
Okay.
He pushed it back. I wanted
So
to
the
get
lead
up there.
changed from basically Vinny Pastore having a fantastic starting hand. Jim Bonnie now has the best hand right now out of the group.
Wow. Well
With,
done. Well, you
3
know what?
8s.
I'm not getting rid of this hand.
But you know what?
You
Fisher
know,
has
I've been waiting for
a
a long time for my ship to come in.
has a flush draw.
When Amerigo Vespucci
Yeah.
sailed across.
That's right. That's when my ship came in.
He came already.
Yeah, and he discovered Eastchester.
Discovered Eastchester, New York.
for me?
Anyway, the turn card comes down, and that's the Jack of Diamonds. Now that's I mean, okay, so now this is
I
giving
like to get rid
Vinny
of these
Pastore the lead again. This is going to be a very, very tough one. They're all going to be in on this, it looks like.
I saw your card.
Not only does it give Vinny Pastore 3 jacks, it also now gives Fisher a pair of jacks with the top kicker, and he has the nut flush draw.
This is big trouble, bro.
And yet you stay.
I'm raising you.
I'm raising you.
There might be a fist fight coming out of this one.
I'm calling you out,
right.
pal. Thank you. So it's.
I ain't getting out of this
Oh,
game.
Vinny, please go.
Go
Vinny
where?
Pastore is
Go home?
protecting his hand.
Why, my breath stinks? I'm sticking around here.
I actually smelt his breath before. It actually reminded me a little bit of sarsaparilla. It was quite nice.
All right, I'll learn how to play this game.
You are.
No.
You think I'm gonna go out?
I think you're out.
I think I'm in.
You want an Altoid?
Throwing around breath mints instead of chips, it looks like.
Later.
Throw a 9 up there.
So it looks like we're going to come down to the river card right now.
If a 9 comes
Throw a
up
9
there,
spades
forget it.
up there. Make it interesting.
And it comes out, it's a 4 of spades.
You got 3 spades on board.
And that is going to give Fisher Stevens the nut flush.
Take me to the river.
And it looks like to me
only
that
got the
this,
red ones. What can I do with these?
in this hand, the lead changed, I believe, 4 times, from Vinny Pastore over to Jim Bonnie, back to Vinny Pastore, and then Fisher wins it again on the river.
Because I'm at the river of no return.
He doesn't know how true that is.
He doesn't care what you have.
I know.
Vinny Pastore thinks he
playing
has
the
the
game
top
over
hand
here.
here, but I can assure you Fisher has it. And he's going to bet. He's going to raise on this one
The fish is gone.
to prove it.
Fish you jumping.
I got to stay
Well,
in, right?
if he wants to stay in, I'd be very wary if I was Vinny Pastore on this.
$8
On this
here.
flush.
Look, I'm just gonna make
The
it.
3 spades up on the board should scare him away a little bit. But he's going to stay in with the 3 jacks.
Side bet?
Yeah, I like
And what is this?
It's Jimmy.
Now they're making side bets. Not a standard practice at a poker table in any casino that I know of, but sometimes they have these side bets in some home games
I'm
and
in the game still.
You're out of here.
around the world.
I'm gonna bet you.
I saw it.
I'm pussy. I'll bet on pussy. All right?
All right, go ahead.
He's betting on fish.
You guys want to see my card?
What do you got?
I got 3.
There you
Shows
go.
him 3 jacks,
3 jacks.
and the dealer pushes it up, but that's not actually the winning hand.
Oh no, 3. I'm sorry.
3 snowmen.
So I'm still
Still didn't beat
winning.
it.
I got a.
Sit up, son.
Guys, I got a flush.
Ace high flush.
Ace high.
Oh,
Man.
And there it goes, it's changed.
I can buy a new house.
I bet him. I bet him pity.
Grazie.
A hand that's down to 4 players pre-flop, where the lead switches around between all the players. Cha-Cha goes out,
I got to do what Cha-Cha
and
does.
Willie just does exactly what Cha-Cha does.
I'd call.
Ooh, and Vinny Vella looks like he's in, and Charlie's goes out. Vinny Pastore
I ain't going nowhere.
going for his chips,
You got that right.
and Jim Bonnie folds out. Willie Garson's having a whole bunch of fun over there. Oh, and look at this. It's a race. Well, Frank Vincent does have the best hand in poker, the best starting hand anyway. Ace, bullets, American Airlines, whatever you want to call it. And he does the right thing by raising.
I'd call.
Oh, Vinny's in.
And Fisher
Hey, what are you doing? All
is
right.
also
You wanted
You know,
in here with a 10-10, a very, very fine hand. Just not good enough to beat Frank Vincent's pre-flop hand of ace-ace.
Oh, Frank, figures.
Vinny Pastore has a 7-7. Everybody here has a pair in the hole. This is quite a spectacle. And here comes the flop. That's a 2 of diamonds, 7 of clubs, and a 6 of hearts. That's going to make Vinny Pastore a very, very happy man. And he's got 3 sevens.
Yeah.
And look at him. He's not hiding anything. Yeah. Vinny Vella decides to call with his 8-8. Amazing that they all have pocket pairs.
Means a raise to 4.
That means that you didn't scare anybody. We're going to go in.
You put up 2 and 2 more.
Of course,
I
you're
put up.
4.
Well, Frank Vincent is
How about I put up what you put up, and then I throw up. All right.
very mature, Fisher. Very mature.
Where can I catch your act?
Huh?
Checky.
I'm in.
You just catch me in your mother's bedroom.
Oh my. The mother jokes are starting to pour out.
Sorry, I love
Yo,
you.
mama.
Not a good sign at any poker game. And the turn comes out, and that is an 8 of clubs. So that gives Vinny Vella the lead with 3 8s.
I bet 4.
Which is a smart move.
I'm in the game, Vinny.
And, well, Vinny Pastore still thinks he has the lead with his 3 sevens.
You talk about an Italian's mother, you die.
That's
Oh,
right.
the threat from Cha-Cha. Apparently, no one should speak about anybody's mother if they're Italian. That could be a big problem.
Spread any further.
Exactly.
And the 10 comes out on the river, and that's going to give Fisher, who was pretty much behind this whole way, it gives him the win.
And I thought I said something big.
He just has to stay in the hand.
Okay, where are we?
$4.
He does. He rightly bets $4. Goes over to Vinny Vella.
Vinny, give it to me.
Come on, Vinny, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you take your cards and go home to your wife?
How much? I bet I make you a side
Oh
bet. I
boy.
bet you
Here
I
we
win
go
you
with the
some
side
each
bet
week.
again.
Yeah, my hand.
You want to do a side bet?
Yeah.
Forget about the side bet.
And I'm in.
Let's do this.
Vinny
Same
Pastore
as my partner
also
did over
calls.
there, so give me one back. That's very nice.
And Frank Vincent calls as well.
Yeah, we all called. One way or another.
Look, I took a risk because I like you people and I want to be your friends.
Oh my. So Fisher Stephen throws down the 3 big 10s.
They're aces.
And Frank Vincent shows his pair of aces. Vinny Vella's got 3 8s. It's not going to beat the 3 10s.
7.
And Vinny Pastore has 3 7s, which comes in third. And Fisher lets out a warrior cry that he's won. And he gets the pot pushed right over to him. A hand where the player's behind pre-flop, but wins in the end. Frank Vincent folds, and Jim Toohey stays in, and Fisher's out. And Cha-Cha's in. And Willie does a little imitation of Cha-Cha. He's in as well.
That's garbage.
It's always garbage with you.
It's a new day. I call and I raise.
Oh, Charlie's going to go with the raise here.
You got some set.
I saw the guy's hands.
Oh,
I saw it.
Very poetic, this show.
Vinny Pastore is going out, and Jim Bunny goes out as well. So it looks like we're down to 4.
cheap bastard, Jimmy.
Jim Toohey has ace-king unsuited, still a very, very strong hand. And Cha-Cha has queen-jack suited of hearts.
What do you got, a glass eye?
And now Willie completes, and he's got a pair of 9s in the hole, which is fantastic. But even better than that, Charlie has the jack-jack. He looks like he has the high hand.
8, 9.
Oh
Jack.
my. And the jack comes out, the 9 hearts, 8 of hearts. This is actually giving something for everybody but Jim Toohey. Looks like that gives Charlie 3 jacks. That gives Willie 3 9s. And that gives Cha-Cha a straight draw, a flush draw,
after Charlie, everybody.
Don't playing together, man.
They keep betting into my raise.
Please,
That's
partners.
okay. So I'm
They're
gonna
all
have
partners
to
down
do the
here.
same thing.
A little conspiracy over there.
I see your 4 and I
Look, see what Charlie's doing right here is actually called a string bet. It's not a legal move, and I'm surprised that the dealer didn't say anything about it, but I guess if I was the dealer, I wouldn't want to
Too rich for my blood.
have to fight with Charlie. But a string bet is basically when you say that you're going to see the bet and then raise it. That's an illegal move. You have to say raise right off the bat. You cannot just say I'll call it and raise you. Not a legal move.
Good. Swing it.
Willie calls for the next card, the turn, which comes out right now. And that is a 10 of diamonds, and that is going to,
8, 9, 10, jack.
that's giving Cha-Cha the straight.
I have some thoughts about that, man. Out there. Wow. Check. I'll check too. Check to the monster.
They're all checking around here, except for Charlie.
That's it.
You so have the losing hand.
You ain't scaring this guy out. You're not scaring him out. That's stupid. He knows what he's doing.
I'll call.
And they all call
There you
around.
go.
Applause.
It is.
Not a 10.
Oh my God. Well, look at this.
8, 9, 10.
Pair the
Well,
board.
3 hearts.
These guys have got a surprise in store for them. Charlie is going to think he has the boat, which is the full house, jacks over 10s. Willie's got 9s over 10s. But Cha-Cha is going to surprise them all.
Make it 8.
And they're all raising. But Cha-Cha's going to surprise them with the straight flush. And not easy to get that hand.
Make it 12.
And there they go. Charlie's going to raise it up. It looks that they'd all would raise in this situation. Cha-Cha pretends he doesn't know what he's going to do.
He's got no respect for you.
And he's going to raise it up.
None.
Ay, caramba. Call. Happily, though. Point that out.
One more.
So what can I do now? I could raise one
And
more?
Charlie wants to raise it up again. He's not going to get the opportunity, but he's lucky he's not, because he's going to lose some money on this hand.
That's it.
All right, here it
All
turns.
right. My boy's got it over there. We'll show what you got.
Vinny Bella's pretty positive about that.
I gotta show 'em
You've been
first.
betting all the time.
I got a boat. I got
He's showing the jacks over 10s. Johnny's over 10s, he calls them.
I got a crummier boat.
Willie concedes.
Boy's got.
Oh.
Where's straight flush? Where's the straight
Oh,
flush?
he's got 8, 9, 10.
Cha-Cha amazes
jack,
everybody
queen.
at the table.
Holy. That,
Ace, 9, 10, jack, queen, or hearts. See, that's the difference. How you got a strong hand like that? I
And
got
there
a
they are, the
strong
hands that
full house.
the hand that won Cha-Cha, the straight flush. A hand where a player wins using one of his cards. So Fisher's going to call here.
you're going to hurt your neck, Judge.
Listen, hold on a second.
I don't want you to see these guys over here.
You're out?
My cards.
Willie's out as well. Cha-Cha's out.
You too?
Vinny Vella, everybody's going out on this hand.
Charlie ain't quit.
No, I gotta play one.
Yeah, Charlie's going to go in 2 hands in a row here.
Yeah. Let me tell you, what's your first name? Patrick. Patrick, this is the worst 2 cards you've ever dealt me in my life.
Oh,
Throw them at him. What are you throwing at him?
a little animosity here at the table towards the dealer.
A monkey can put them out. It's not anyone's fault. It's not the kid's fault.
I gotta get my aggression out on somebody. I'm in therapy.
It's an interesting little tidbit.
Check. I check.
And we're down to 3.
Change my mic. That
So
might
the
go
flop
outside.
comes out, and that's a jack of clubs, queen of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, and that'll give Charlie the lead with a pair of queens with the ace kicker. Fisher not far behind with the pair of jacks with ace kicker, and Charlie checks. Very interesting. And that's going to make Jim Toohey check with his 4-6. He shouldn't even be in the first place. And Fisher makes the bet. He thinks he's got the best hand right now.
I'm out.
And Charlie calls.
Not here.
And Jim Toohey goes out.
Nothing going on.
So the turn comes out, and that's the jack of hearts.
Cards are good.
So that is giving Fisher
Pair of Jake Lamont's.
Spoiled.
3 jacks, or as Cha-Cha likes to call it, 3 Jake LaMottas.
All right, Charlie. 4 to you.
4 to me.
Yeah.
Charlie, of course, looks like he's calling.
Don't let him scare you. That's it. Hey.
Vinny Vella's words of wisdom.
You know,
And look at that.
Oh, Queens
Now
and
this
Jacks
is
on
this
board.
is
Two pair. Jackson, Queens.
quite amazing. Right now, what that gives Charlie is a full house,
Someone has a jack.
Queens over Jacks, and that gives Fisher a full house, Jacks over Queens.
Last card or is there any more cards?
There are no more cards. It's to you.
all right.
See you the next one, next to the button.
I gotta raise this time, Fish.
And Charlie appropriately raises.
Raise to 8.
He's got no respect for you. None.
What did you say?
Oh boy.
Bump him out, Fish. Bump him out, Fish. Get him out of there.
I'm gonna call and raise you, my
Uh-oh.
If you got chutzpah, raise
I
him.
got no respect.
Oh.
He's a chutzpah raise.
Got no respect for you either.
All the raise, what could he possibly have over there?
Charlie's reading the board, which is a
Jacks on board. Take
Which
it
is
out.
a correct thing to do. Charlie
hold on.
is going to read the board for his opponent's hand and what possibly his opponent could have. He knows that it's not possible.
I got a better boat. I'm gonna re-raise.
Need a bigger boat. What's that from
I got a
Jaws?
bigger boat.
That's a cap.
Got the 16.
I'll cap it out.
He did it already.
I'll cap you. I'll
Match
cap
my
you.
cap.
I'll
Match my cap. I'm a
I'll
cap.
put a cap in you.
The only thing that could happen here is if Fisher had Jack.
Let me see here. Ready? Can we do it at the same time?
Ladies.
I knew it!
Oh.
And Charlie shows
I
it,
had to have the best
and he's got the
house.
Queens over Jacks, and that's going to take it down for Charlie.
Look at that.
Oh, who's better than you?
Slide those chips over
Why do
here.
you hurt me,
Finally.
Charlie? Why do you hurt me
Finally.
so, Charlie?
This is the problem with playing poker with actors. They start reciting lines from movies.
Raise on the turn. He could have been somebody.
Great pairs fold.
Yes, I do.
So the dealer calls for the blinds. They're put up, and Fisher's first to act. And he goes out. Cha-Cha calls. He has ace-king unsuited. While Willie Garson folds.
call.
And Vinny Vella stays in with a pair of tens. Very nice hand. Charlie folds out, and Vinny Pastore goes in with ace-queen unsuited. Jim Bonney
I
folds.
call it 2 and I raise 2.
He raises 2, and that's from Frank Vincent with a pair of queens, some ladies.
And raise 2 more.
Wow. So Jim Toohey, who has a pair of kings, otherwise known as cowboys, goes in for another raise. And there is the signature move from Cha-Cha. And he's going to call it.
I'm in.
Vinny Vella doesn't sound too excited about that. And there goes Pastore. He calls
2 more to me.
and completes the bet.
4 if I want to raise, right?
That is correct.
I'll just call.
Frank Vincent just calls after thinking about a raise. There's 5 players in that hand. So the board comes up ace of hearts, 9 of clubs, 7 of spades. Vincent Pastore calls Frank Vincent Billy Bats from his Goodfellas movie. Very interesting. Jim Toohey checks with his kings. He's afraid of the ace, it looks like. And Cha-Cha will bet $2 with ace-king appropriately. He's now got top pair with the top kicker.
What if I do this and I raise it, Judge?
Okay, so Vinny Vella went out, but Pastore is going to raise it up with his ace-queen. He thinks he might have top kicker.
Stand with these guys.
2 more? I'd call.
And Cha-Cha just calls. Now, all these guys went out. They all had great pairs. They had some kings in the hole, some queens in the hole, tens in the hole. You know, but appropriately they went out because the ace is on the board, and that's a scary card, and people are raising, so they appropriately went out. So the 2 of diamonds comes out on the turn, and Frank Vincent and Jim Toohey fold, but Cha-Cha bets 4, and Vincent Pastore calls. And we're going to take a look at the river now, and that comes out the 3 of spades. That doesn't help either of them, really. So still Cha-Cha's in the lead with the ace with the king kicker. So they both check around, and Cha-Cha looks like he wants to take another look before he throws down. That's right, he does have to throw him over.
I got aces.
Yeah, but I got aces too.
But I got
What do you
king
got?
high.
King plays.
You got the king, huh?
What's your kicker?
Oh, you got the queen.
Oh. A nutcracker sweet.
Nut crusher.
A hand where the players split the pot by playing the board. Well, Frank Vincent calls that top pair, but he's actually should play the board.
Yeah, well, I'm playing the board.
And Vincent Pastore says he's going to play the board.
I'm playing the board too.
Cha-Cha as well.
Yeah, well, I'm playing the board too.
Fisher Stevens tries to bluff his way into saying that he has a hand, but he pulled it out before.
What?
So let's recap the basic strategy for beginners.
The most important thing to remember, have fun. Fold, fold, fold most of your hands. A, figure out what hand you're holding. Pre-flop, play playable cards, pairs, and two-face cards. On the turn, read the board. What hand do you have? On the river, read the board. What hand do you have? B, what do winning hands look like? Number 1, good hands. Overpair, top pair, two pair. Number 2, great hands. 3 of a kind, straight, preferably the nut straight. Flush, preferably the nut flush. Number 3, monster hands. Full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush. C, how should you bet your hands? When you love your hand and you're confident it's a likely winner, then bet or raise. When you like your hand but you're not sure if it's a winner, then check, and if somebody makes a bet, then you call. When you don't like your hand and think it's a loser, then check, and if somebody makes a bet, then you can fold. And did I mention have fun?
So should everyone follow these rules exactly?
Absolutely not. These are good starting guidelines which leave plenty of room for you to play with your own personal style in many of those fuzzy situations. For example, if you like to play more aggressively and you find a hand where you have something but you're not sure if you have a winner, you'll probably tend to bet, raise, or re-raise. But if you like to play a little more conservatively and you're unsure about a hand, then you'll be more likely to check, fold, or only call. And there's nothing wrong with both styles as long as you think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And finally, Texas Hold'em is a fun game, but needs to be played wisely.
It seems like we almost have to be mind readers to play this game.
It wouldn't hurt, but after watching Tape 2 Advanced Strategies for Winning, your poker buddies may think you are.
You're telling us we're going to learn how to be mind readers?
In a way, we'll cover positions, pot odds, bluffing, tells, and player types. Everything you need to know to compete on a more advanced level.
Parting thought, Robert?
Remember, to play with your head and not over it. Poker is a game of skill as well as chance.